Okay, I don't know what happened, but I started a couple of months ago in April. You can go check out my video on the D. Louise book series. By the way, I'm Christina, Kristina, and it's nice to meet you. Please hit the like and subscribe. Let me know I'm doing a good job. I just read books, talk about books, no special effects, nothing like that. Please only hit the thumbs up. If you don't like it, just don't do anything. But I've recently found out that when someone hits the thumbs down, it kills your analytics over by 50%, sometimes even larger than that. So just hit the thumbs up. That's it. Just go up. So I don't know what happened. I don't know why. I kept taking this book out from the library. I take it out, put it back, take it out, put it back, take it out, put it back. Took it out. There was a couple different times for maybe mysteries in bookstores or bookshops, or mysteries involving books, something like that. I did an If Then a while back about that. And I probably took it out for Flashback Monday. And I'm a series person, so if I find a series that has several books in it, I will go and take them all out so that I have them so I can do a binge read. And the first one was like, I don't know. So I probably took them all back, but then I kept taking it out again. And then I read I should have copied it. Wait a second. So then I was doing mysteries, and this book came up again in mysteries, and then I spotted it again for something else, and then I spotted it again for something else. So I was like, all right, I gotta sit down and read this book. So I had finished. We are doing. Oh, please check out Star Trek Next Generation Fridays, and If Then Friday afternoons. If you like this author, then maybe like that author. Also, Flashback Mondays. I worked really hard on that. No one is watching it. No one is probably watching this either. But if you could please go and check those out, I'd appreciate it. Flashback Monday, I do over 30 books a week, different genres: mystery, historical, romance, contemporary romance, paranormal, inspirational, sci-fi, harlequin, all of them. Check them all out. So anyways, I kept seeing this book, and I kept seeing this book. So I decided I'm going to read this book. So first of all, and be prepared for spoilers, lots and lots and lots and lots of spoilers, because that's what I do. I spoil it. I won't tell you who done it, but I will tell you everything else that happened in the book, because that's just the way I am. So it's ripped from the pages, Kate Carlisle. And if you go back, Homicide in hardcover was book 1, and I did it on April 3rd, so you can go check that out. So it got in my Flashback Monday magazine, and we haven't done this one yet, so the book will come up again in about 6 months or so, however long it takes to get. I'm doing 2010 right now, and this is 2015, so it'll be a while before we get to it again. I'll probably forget that I did this book. But it got 4.5 stars, and it says, Carlisle takes readers on a journey that spans 70 years. The story that she paints of the treasures Brooklyn and Derek find is intriguing and mysterious. With no idea of what will happen next, readers will be surprised at what really took place all those years ago. With the introduction of new characters who are interesting enough to hope they make return visits, as well as the usual members. Brooklyn and crew are up to their necks in this latest matter, and another fantastic read from the talented Carlisle. Brooklyn Wainwright and Derek Stone take off to her parents' house while their apartment is being renovated. While visiting, they decide to attend the excavation of a wine cave at the local vineyard where her father and brothers work. During the excavation, a room is discovered, as well as a body filled with treasures. Tons and tons of treasures. And my only complaint is that one of the new characters, is now it's an ongoing complaint. I know a couple authors that do this, and it drives me bonkers. Now, if Rob's son is his name, Rob's son, Robson, Benedict, has a nickname, Guru Bob. Now, either tell me that Rob's son, Benedict, is also known as Guru Bob, and then refer to him as Guru Bob for the rest of the book. But in the first sentence, you call him Guru Bob, and then in the second sentence, you call him Rob's son, and it's back and forth and back and forth. And every time you refer to the character, it was just driving me crazy. That was my little pet peeve. The other thing was that I was trying to keep track of all the characters and who they were, because usually when I come into a series, I do a spreadsheet with all the characters so I can keep track of them, so I can know who's important and who's not important, who to pay attention to, and who will be a recurring character, family member, stuff like that. And I was really doing all this stuff, and then I decided to just leave it be for now, because a lot of the characters are her family members, so obviously they're not the whodunit. But a couple of family members do have a couple of secrets that will be revealed in pieces. She's got to like drag it out of them. And there we go again. So this book has a couple of interesting, it's got genealogical information, it's got books, it's got the cast of Amontillado, I can't say it correctly, the Edgar Allan Poe, where the guy gets walled up. Well, this guy got walled up. Apparently, they were going to expand the cave to make wine testing rooms. And when they went to expand the cave, they found a cement wall. And when they released the cement wall, they found 2 rooms filled with antiques, mostly French antiques that were taken from France during the World War II. They were taken from France so that the Nazis would not get those treasures. And after the war, they were supposed to be returned. And the person that had them was very, very worried about the Nazis coming back. So they did not want to return them. So they get into an argument, and the one guy, and they were blood brothers, and they were like this, and the one guy is so fearful of, I don't know, losing the treasures or the treasures being revealed. He had no plans on selling them. He walls them up, and he kills his blood brother, and the details of the murder is laid out in a letter later on in the book. But there is a lot going on. We have to meet all these new characters, and I love her little little spiel in the beginning about who she is, how she introduces herself. She says, "I am a bookbinder specializing in rare book restorations, and I was currently working on several important projects that had to be delivered during the time we would be away from home. The original plan of staying with my parents, while less ideal, would have allowed me access to my former mentor's fully stocked bookbinding studio just down the hill from my parents. Abram Karaski had died more than a year ago, but his daughter Annie, who lived in his house now, had kept his workshop intact. She had also given me carte blanche to use it whenever I wanted to. For weeks, Derek and I had tossed around various possibilities, and they ended up going to stay with her folks. So then they doing this excavation thing, and they find this room. It's a whole bunch of stuff, different things, furniture, a big inlaid wood wardrobe with a beautifully beveled mirror built into its front door. There's an antique table with a fancy candelabra on it, a bookshelf with lots of things on the shelves, silver candlesticks, a teapot. At least they look like silver from here. There's more over in the corner. Another table with small statuary, a couple of busts. I can't tell who they are. There are bronze horses, horse bookends, and there are books. Tons and tons of books. So there's this whole room in this cave, and because it was walled off and because it was perfectly contained in a airtight, semi-airtight place, nothing, the body never decomposed. It's still in its good condition. All the items in the room are still in its good condition. They also opened the guy's briefcase with his passport and stuff in it, and they discovered that he has an 1867 French copy of Journey to the Center of the Earth. And while the blurb and stuff make a big deal out of the book, it's not actually the book that's interesting, it's what's in the book. A letter and a blood oath by the two boys, and it's very, very interesting. He had a ticket on the Queen Mary. He was going to return home in 1946, and that's when he was killed. We also get some new people in town. The book was transcribed by Anton Benoit and Jean-Pierre Renaud, who turned out to be Rob's son's great-grandfather, and his best friend, and that's who made the blood oath, the two boys. But I have to share. When I like a book, I like to share. We solemnly pledge this oath in blood to be comrades, friends, defending each other until the day we die. Together we will find the volcano that holds the portal that leads to the center of the earth, and we will share equally all the treasure we find there. So help us God, signed Anton Benoit and Jean-Pierre Renaud. And then one kills the other. That's horrific. That these two boys plan to be so, best friends like that. And they also find in the book a treasure map, and they follow the treasure map, and the treasure map leads them to the second room in the cave. Apparently the wardrobe was placed in its specific place to hide a second door to another room. And they find more treasures. We also get some backstory from Trudy, one of the friends. Grandpa grew up working in his father's winery, but on a high school trip to Limoges, he met and fell in love with my grandmother Bella. She was from Lac Croix Saint Just and had no intention of moving to Saint Emilion, no matter how important Christo's winery was. She was a hometown girl, Mom said in complete understanding. Precisely, Trudy said, smiling as she nodded. So what else could my grandfather do but move to La Croix Saint Just and marry her? They had 4 sons, one of whom was my papa, Luke. His brother Anton was Robson's grandfather. Grandpa Christophe had only ever known winemaking, so he brought with him a satchel of old-growth vines from St. Emilion and planted them in the rich soil of St. Croix Just. How did that work out, I wondered. Oh, he became very successful, possibly because he was one of the few winemakers in the area. He would have been very popular, Mom agreed. And she tells more about the 2 brothers. So they learn about all the stuff. They learn about the Frenchman's Hill. This is all the people that came from France and settled in this area. And because they all settled together, the neighborhood got the term Frenchman's Hill. And they meet the Frenchman's family, and they have every intention that once all the articles are identified and inventoried, they are going to return the items to the families, and the families one of the guys is a big bully and he starts to threaten lawsuits and all this kind of stuff. And they're like, hey, look, we just found the items. We are going to give them back to you. So you have really no reason to. The guy that did all this is dead. There isn't anybody else. We just found them. We're going to give them back to you. So that leads to a lot of huff. Then there are some other people that want to get access to the cave, and people try and break into the cave, and there's a lot of other stuff going on. But it's a really, really interesting, cute little story. It's got a couple of twists and turns. Once I stopped paying attention to all the different characters and just let it go with the flow, it was a really cute book. And like I said, genealogy is my thing. Books are my thing. Wouldn't it be cool to find a hidden room? Don't you watch those videos sometimes on YouTube where people knock down a wall and they find hidden money or books and stuff like that? Wouldn't that be awesome to find all that stuff? But then you'd have to have the money to buy an old house like that too. So there you go. But so go check out Homicide in hardcover, and also check out Ripped from the Pages. It was a really good book. I really enjoyed it, and I read it so quickly. I didn't expect to read it so quickly, but it only took a couple hours. So if you could please hit the like and subscribe, I really appreciate it. Thank you.